problem of finding yourself. That dissatisfaction is emblematic of the split between our mind, conceptual mind, and the real world. The real world is non-conceptual, and our mind is conceptual. It's language-based. So there is no connection, direct connection between conceptual structure and experiential life. See?
And the experiential life, what
I'll give you an example if you want.
art,
Well,
music.
Of course.
Literature.
Of course, that's where we break through.
Yeah.
That's where we break through. We break through out of the prison of our mind. Our mind generally...
Poetry, music.
It's an instrument, but it's also a prison. It becomes a prison if you do not see how limiting life becomes if you think that our minds actually equal to reality. See? Our mind is a conceptual instrument, just like those gadgets in the submarine are not equal to the real world of the ocean outside of submarine, right?
They're just directing the way.
They just related, indirectly related to that, but yet are of a completely different nature. So our conceptual mind is of completely different nature than the real world, right? The real world, not the world which we think of as being real, because that's inside of our mind.
Not our concept of the world, but the actual
But
world.
that's what we got. That's what we got. We are buried in the concepts. So our life is,
Well, that's why life is the way it is.
Yeah, so it's
rather than...
So that's why we have all the problems in the world. That's why we are kind of on the brink of potentially nuclear war and third world war and global warming and how many problems. And I mean, it's a countless problems because no one addresses the essential problem. There's the essential problem that we don't know who we are. And
that's why we need to get awakened.
We don't know who we are, and happiness and joy of life in knowing who you are. There's nothing else. You see what I'm saying? Knowing who you are is that joy, that satisfaction, which everyone is looking to success and accomplishment, and it never comes, and people becomes more disappointed, more and more, because success is even success after success.
Yeah.
But they see that it just doesn't produce satisfaction.
People are looking outside of themselves.
And then they go into drugs, then they go into this, and they go into that.
Pornography.
Whatever it is, just So the only resolution of all our problems is experience deep, profound experience of satisfaction.
Which is very rare.
Which is right there where we are.
Yeah.
It's a deep, profound experience of being alive, immediacy of life. You know what I mean? Immediacy of life.
And you feel it. You feel it right now. You're feeling it.
It's not that I feel it. I cannot feel otherwise. Where I am, I don't understand how to experience life. So not in immediate way. You see what I'm saying? I can pretend, I can take back my mind, which is I put it right here. So for practical purposes, I put it back, okay? Now I have it.
You put the helmet back
Okay,
to solve the daily problems of
now
your
I
daily
can
life.
talk like a robot.
Yeah.
You know, like most of the people talk, right? Like most of the broadcasters talk on the web, you know.
On TV, you mean?
On internet, you know. A lot of the podcasts, the podcasters are, you know, there are very few authentic experiences. They talk about authenticity. Authenticity is important, you know, well. Authenticity is simply who you are. It's not authenticity, not in your goals, and not in your plans.
You don't have to be authentic,
and
you have to be yourself.
not in your methods to accomplish happiness, to fulfillment and to reach fulfillment. It's not there, you know. Authenticity is simply awareness, immediacy of life, experience of being alive. And most of the people feel it at some point of their life, in the moment. Of course, in childhood, we all are right there, right? You know, life is magical, and you know, Harry Potter world, you know. Yeah. But then as we grow up, you know, the concepts, we are conditioned to perform now by parents, by school, we have to perform. We have to accomplish goals. So that conditioning kind of...
We have to have children.
And then, in order to perform, you have to fit in. In order to fit in, you have to possess certain things which other people possess. You have to look in certain way how Kardashians look, and so on and so on. So you mold yourself, you squeeze yourself in these shapes, in these forms, and so all this authenticity gets squashed and, you know, and disappears, evaporates little by little, and the reality of who you are, authentic immediacy of life, gets covered by the wall, the conceptual wall now, that you create in order to survive. You don't know what would happen if you wouldn't have that conceptual wall. You would survive just perfectly.
Maybe you can actually create miracles.
Life would take care of you.
Yeah.
See, the only problem, if you have a problem, is that you are trying to take care of yourself. That's a backward way of living. As soon as you stop trying to take care of yourself, life will take care of you. That's what Jesus said.
Yes, he said God is taking care of the birds and the
your family things,
flowers
and very few. We
you
don't
got
get
nothing to
into
worry
it.
about.
We don't
He'll
get
take care of
into
you.
all these fantastic sayings of Jesus, you know.
All the parables, all the metaphors.
They require serious attention, you know. You have to get present to that in order to penetrate it, to get that. You know, you cannot just read and memorize, go to the Bible school, memorize the stories of the Bible, or, you know, pray, you know. It's not like that. It's just like you have to connect. You have to connect with life. And the Bible is your wide open eyes. That's the Bible. Your wide open eyes is the Bible. Your wide open eyes is Quran. Your wide open eyes is Torah. Your wide open eyes is Dhammapada. Bhagavad Gita, Tao Te Ching, Vedas, everything. All the stories. All the beautiful novels, even novels, Dostoevsky, Shakespeare, all of it. You know, I mean, to get that,
Beethoven, Mozart.
Just by reading novels doesn't mean that you read novels. You read your own most of the people read their own
Version.
interpretation,
Their own version, their own.
interpretation of what they read, right? So you have to understand, you have to see it, that you are interpreter. Your identity is set up in a way that you became an interpreter
Of life.
of everything,
Rather
right?
than living
Rather
life.
than living, you are interpreting, right?
No wonder we're miserable.
Oh, I'm that, I'm this. This is
No wonder we're depressed.
So every great novel.
Crime and Punishment.
Why is it great? Crime and Punishment, for example. Why is it so great?
Brothers Karamazov.
Because the author, Dostoevsky, or Solzhenitsyn, or Nietzsche, or Ayn Rand, or Virginia Woolf, or Melville, what are they trying to do? They are trying to prevent you from interpretation.
They're exposing you to the experience of being alive.